Scott Huesing is a retired Marine Corps infantry major with over 24 years of service to the country.
During his many deployments to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Africa, he planned, led, and conducted hundreds of missions. One of those operations took place from the winter of 2006 through early 2007 in Ramadi, the deadliest city in Iraq.
And the story of that mission, the Marines he fought with, and the families that awaited their return is told in his book, Echo in Ramadi, the firsthand story of U.S. Marines in Iraq's deadliest city. Major Scott Huesing joins us live in studio this morning. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me on the program.
Appreciate your time. You know, you write about growing up in high school and kind of associating the Marines, the military, with the parades and the medals. You talk about the war movies. But at the end, you say it's about bringing the Marines home alive. When did you first realize that?
It is absolutely about the people. I mean, you can measure success on the battlefield from obviously the number of bad guys you kill, which was our mission in the deadliest city of Iraq in 2006. But for me, the real metric of success was bringing as many Marines home alive with me as possible. And we did that through our training, the years of experience we had, but also because of that brotherhood and that power of human connection that they shared through some of the worst conditions created by war. And every time they performed these superhuman acts on the battlefield, I tell you, I couldn't have been prouder of them each and every time. It's just amazing to witness day in and day out as they fought 5, 6, 7 times a day. But that brotherhood that we experienced in the Marine Corps bleeds over into the families that supported us while we fought and that continue to support us to this day. Our amazing Gold Star families that are always there for us. And they're a big part of everything we do. And they can only be described as extraordinary people. And they continue to love us so much and care for us so much. It's just a real honor to be able to share their story along with the fighting and the friction and the chaos, but also the people and that power of human connection.
Do you think those families are getting the support they need back at home?
I think they enjoy a great deal of support from the Marine Corps itself, but moreover, they enjoy a bond with their Marines because although especially our Gold Star families lost, and yet continue to love us so much. They may have lost their son or daughter in combat, but they also gained an additional 200 Marines for sons as well.
Yeah, you talk about that in the book. Can you explain a little bit to someone who hasn't served what the bond is between someone who goes through what you went through? They become your family, right?
They're absolutely our family. I don't think there's any other way to describe it. They are inextricably connected to us in everything we do because it's not only an important part that we as Marines stay connected to our families and especially our Gold Star families that lost so much because we understand that loss. I mean, we lost a brother, a fellow Marine or soldier, but they lost a son or a daughter and there's no way to replace that. And it's important for them to understand that we still love them, we're still here for them, and anything they need, all they need to do is pick up the phone. And usually it's them picking up the phone when one of the Marines calls at Memorial Day or Mother's Day or at Christmas, and they always pick up and answer.
So they lost someone, but they also do, in a small measure, gain you and the people who survived.
They do. It's something we continue to enjoy day in and day out. And one of the stories in the book is about Simon Litke, who we lost to suicide in 2015. And I was on the phone with his mom just this week, Nikki Litke, and we were talking about that, how hard it is to process those things and to lose that, but to still be able to share her story. And that's one of the remarkable things as well, that being connected here in San Francisco and to the Marines Memorial Club is they honor that. And the Gold Star mothers honor everyone, and they don't discriminate. When you lose a kid, you lose a kid, and that's what they're here to respect.
One thing I want to ask you, Major, is these families trust you as a leader, right? You were their leader, and you write about the loss of a Corporal Dustin Libby, who was 22-year-old, and that hit home for you. That hit you hard. Explain that a little bit. When you're a leader, losing someone who families trust you to bring them home.
Well, you can train your men and Marines and soldiers as much as you think you can. As hard as we trained for weeks and months on end, and then to be thrust into that environment in Ramadi, which was literally the deadliest city on the planet at the time. And when you lose a Marine or a soldier, there's no way to describe it. And there's no training, there's no class that prepares you for that, there's no academic period of instruction in the schools we as professional warriors attend that teaches you how to write a letter to the mom or dad of a 22-year-old kid that just died under your command. But those stories are important, Mike, because those are the stories that matter. And this book is about the people, and it's about the emotion and the feeling. And you can read about events and things in the newspaper every day when you pick it up, but when you read this story, you really understand that people like Corporal Libby and his mom, Jenny, for me to be allowed to tell their story was important to me. And every time I talk to my Gold Star parents or to my Marines and they say, hey, sir, you got it right. Those are the most important endorsements that I could ever get, because it's great having endorsements from, you know, 4-star generals and celebrities, but to hear my moms and my Marines and everyone call me up and email me and say, sir, thank you for being our voice, and thank you for telling this story and doing it right. It's important.
See it in your face. It's important. Major Huesing will be speaking, again, this is Thursday, right?
Thursday night.
6 o'clock at the Marines Memorial Theater in San Francisco. We have put more information up on our website at ktvu.com. The Major says the tickets are free. Look for it in the web link section right there under the Mornings on 2 tab. You can also find it on the KTVU mobile app. Echo in Ramadi, the first-hand story of U.S. Marines in Iraq's deadliest city. Major Scott Huesing, thank you for your service, and thank you for your time this morning.
Hey, thanks for having me on the program and to Fox 2, because you allow these great military stories to be told. There's so many more like them, and by not marginalizing them and getting the stories out, I think it's a very important and vital message. So thanks to the team. I appreciate it. Thank you, San Francisco.